It's time to take your business to the next level, the boss level. These are the premier business owner strategies and successes being utilized by the industry's top talent today. Rock your business like a boss, a VO boss. Now let's welcome your host, Anne Ganguzza.
Hey, welcome everybody to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Anne Ganguzza, along with special guest co-host, Queen Bee Liz Atherton. Hey Liz, how are ya?
Hey Anne, I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for including me.
I am working my way in this very beginning of 2020, trying to make it start off with a huge explosion bang so that I can have the best year ever.
You're an inspiration. Guys, if y'all don't know Anne Ganguzza, make it a point to know Anne Ganguzza. She is not only a delight, she's smart, and she knows what she's doing. So there's your plug, Anne, and you don't even have to pay me.
No. Stop. No, don't stop.
Woo! Oh, anyway.
So since it's a new year, I thought it would be a good time to discuss prepping ourselves for having the best year yet. And I think a very important component of your voiceover business is your demo. So I thought it would be good to talk about demos in 2020 versus, because we've had this discussion before in this podcast, but I always like to keep things fresh. So let's talk about demos in 2020. I'd like to get your thoughts on how important is a demo for a voice talent today to market themselves and get business?
Well, I'm going to come at it, if you don't mind, from a different perspective. The
Sure.
reason I think demos are so important to the talent is that you are going to get several hours and maybe more with someone who knows what they're doing. So yes, you're going to create a demo, and yes, it's going to come out sounding great. But what you're really going to get is time with this person that knows what they're doing. Ask them questions. It is the best training you could ever imagine. And to me, that's why people should always be doing demos. I mean, Anne, listen, you know, I'm not a VO talent. I'm just was a lowly agent. Now I'm a lowly software person, and I'm a mom, and I have chickens. Or I did have chickens. They got
and I have
eaten.
chickens.
You know,
Raise the bar, girl. There's nothing lowly. There's nothing lowly about raising chickens. There you go.
Back to demos. To me, so let's just take Joe Blow or Jane Blow, voiceover talent. And let's just say they've been a voiceover talent for many years, and they know how to put out a really good demo. But they're going to have this demo, and they're going to get to work with Anne Ganguzza, right? And your engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your engineer, Anne? Is it you? Is it someone else?
I have an amazing engineer in Santa Monica. His name is John Cheminsky. That's a big
So
shout out to John. Love my
John.
audio engineer. John is amazing from Atlantis Group Studios.
That's fantastic. So let's pretend that I'm a fairly tenured voiceover talent, right? So, but I needed a demo, and I reach out to Anne, and I say, Anne, I want to put together a demo. And Anne is like, yes, let's do this. So now Anne doesn't necessarily need to coach me through how I'm going to deliver the lines, right?
Oh, wait a minute, though. I'm going to back you up there. The only reason I say that is because I am that person. Because
I'm thrilled.
I believe that if I'm going to direct a demo for you, I need to be able to understand and believe that you can deliver those lines without me directing you. So the teacher in me comes out. So you actually have to coach with me. That's the only way I'll produce a demo for you. You cannot pay me enough money to just produce a demo. You have
Then
to
my
work
hat's
with me
off
first.
to you. Then
Yes.
my
Well,
hat's
thank
off
you.
to you. No, seriously. I say this with all my gut. So I'm this talent, right? And I've hired you to help me with this demo. So you're going to help me deliver the lines. But so now I've trained with you, and I know how to deliver the lines, and I'm in the session, and we're working on sound, and your engineer is doing something special. I should be glued to the mic and to the headphones, listening to what he's doing, learning what he's doing. I should be glued to what you're sharing and saying about things I should do, because you are an industry influencer. You know what you're doing, and you're a fantastic demo producer. So me as the talent, not only am I going to walk away with a demo, I'm going to walk away with being a better talent at what I'm doing. And to me, that is the beauty of a demo. Matter of fact, if I have new VO talent, you listen to them and they catch your ear, and you're just like, wow, you have this fabulous voice. For me, they're asking, well, how do I get into VO? And I'm not trying to segue into how to get in VO, but to me, one of the first things they have to do is they have to generate a demo. And if they pick the right demo teacher, then they're going to walk out with so much more knowledge at the end of the experience. So to me, demos, on the agent side and the casting side, people ask, well, what good is my demo? Well, it'll get you an agent. It'll get you.
There's a really good point, by the way, for those people who are saying, but we audition for everything all the time. Why do I still need a demo? Or with pay-to-plays, people are like, well, all we have to do is audition and upload. We can do our own recordings of, and upload that as our demo on pay-to-play sites. So why do I still need a professional demo? And you just brought up an excellent point that more than likely you're not going to get an agent without a professionally
No,
produced
you're
demo.
not. No, you're not. And here's the other thing, Anne. Whenever that demo, so I'm an agent, right? And I'm listening to your demo. And then let's just say the first auditions come through and you've been hired. Sometimes you can be hired straight from your demos. Matter of fact, I legitimately had this conversation 2 days ago. A friend of mine, of course, I have a lot of friends in the VOs community. She's such a good VO artist. She had been hired off of her demo, and the gentleman had been hired off of his demo. He couldn't speak himself out of a paper bag. He could not repeat. He could not recreate the sound. His demo was so overproduced and perfect that he couldn't redo what he was doing. So not only did he, I'm happy for him that he has a pretty demo and it got him hired, but he got fired from that job. They had to go find somebody else.
Because he couldn't produce the sound.
He couldn't recreate what he did on his demo. So, had he paid attention to the techniques that got him to all that other kind of stuff,
right.
then he would have been a legitimate talent. I'm not saying he's not a legitimate talent, but that was all wrapped up in that demo. Yeah. And, so
I'm going to say, I'm going to back the truck up for a minute and just reiterate what you just said. Okay, number one, yes, you can get hired off your demo. I am a firm believer in that, and I'm going to say why. Number one, I think it's great to be able to be hired off your demo, especially if you're along with an agent and the agent is submitting on behalf, or they go to the agent's website and they're listening to the demo. But I also want to say, if you have your own website, and good God, if you don't, by this time,
it's time.
It is 2020, guys. It's time to have your website, and it's time to have your work on your website, meaning your demo. So if you're a new voice talent, you don't have work necessarily to put on your website, so put your demo on it. And when you do that, that demo acts as a marketing that is your marketing piece 24/7. So while you're sleeping,
it's your
somebody
door opener.
Somebody could be listening to that demo and saying, ooh, I like that voice. I cannot tell you the amount of times that people have sent me an email saying, you know what? I really love the voice you did on that Ford spot. Can you please, what would you charge me for this? And so I get hired off my demo all the time, not necessarily through my agents, but yes, through my agents as well, but because it's sitting on a website that is available 24/7, and it is always there for people to listen to, whether I am able to talk to them or communicate with them or not. So that's number one. Yes, you can get hired off your demo. The other is that you could also get fired from your job because you can't reproduce the sounds on your demo. And that, not excluding the sound with the sound effects and music, we're talking about the direction and being able to play the actor and not being able to reproduce that on your own. And that's why I am so adamant about students that I work with. I have to vet them. I have to know that they are capable of producing the acting that goes into that spot. And they are capable of doing that on their own without me sitting there and hand-holding them through it, which is why I make sure everybody works with me. It's got to be at least a few sessions.
Listen,
I just won't do a demo. I just won't do a demo without it.
Well, two things. I do think the future of voiceover is in the acting, and everything talks to you. So you have to be able to deliver the lines from the copy in a way that's relatable and understandable. And if you don't believe me, I know that you've been listening to the TV or the radio, and you've heard someone put that, "How are you doing today?" And it drives you crazy. Now, they may have gotten hired to deliver it that way, but it drives you crazy. So you need to be the actor. Well, you do, and now I forgot. What was the other point?
The actor will get you hired. That's what I believe. They can direct you once you get hired, right?
That's it.
And the actor, I think, is where you need to be engaging. You need to be believable. You need to be authentic. And if they want to direct you to that announcer read later on, hey, that's fine.
That's fine.
I got the gig. That was the important thing. I got the gig, and I'm getting paid.
I remembered the other point I wanted to make. If you cannot be directable, break that badness. And I say that, I mean, once in a blue moon, because I'm a big old mouth and I have opinions, Lord knows, people will ask me to help them out and work with them and help coach them through an audition. Now, mind you, everyone that's listening, my opinion about the way that audition ought to be delivered versus the next person's way of thinking it ought to be delivered are going to be night and day. But if you're going to ask me for my opinion, you're going to get it. And if you get my opinion and we're working through it, pay attention. And you learn how to do that by getting, working with a coach like Anne, or, that will help walk you through that. And I mean, I know, Anne, I'm holding you up on high esteem there, but I've also seen you in your element, and you're really good at what you do.
Well, thank you. And I was just going to mention, though, not just me, but working with you as well. And because we got that opportunity to work together, like I totally, like we're like symbiotic. We're we're on the same page, and I totally get that. So if any of you guys out there, any of you bosses out there get a chance to work with Liz, do it. Liz, I mean, that 20 billion years of experience does not go unnoticed.
And I'm just 19. Excuse me.
That's right. But she's only 19. And that's what's even more amazing is that she's 20 billion years of experience, but she's only 19. So yeah, guys, if you have an opportunity to work with her, I'm just gonna say it. But
hey, can I get a little sidebar here? So I am coming at you from the studio of Diana Birdsall. Let me use Diana as an example. Here's Diana, who is a very successful voiceover talent, who I know for a fact did 3 demos last year, at least. She's got 3 in queue for this year of things that she's working on. Now, this is someone who's working, guys. She's doing very well as a voiceover talent, and yet she's still putting out new demos. Why? Because she understands the value in working with a good demo producer and a good engineer. I'm speaking for you here, and please speak up if you feel differently. But she understands the value. 2, her materials on her website are always fresh and new. Right. And yes, listen, guys, demos are not inexpensive. You get what you pay for. And if you put together a good demo, Diana's going to get more work from her demos out there. Because maybe let's just say she doesn't have an automotive demo. So she decides, okay, last year I invested in an e-learning demo, or I invested in a commercial demo. But I really want to step into the automotive world. So this year I'm going to go work on my automotive demo. So she's not only going to put out a new demo, she's also going to learn what it means, what an automotive demo looks like, and why is it important to new. Because what if she gets hired now to do an automotive gig? She's worked on an automotive demo, so she can step into that gig far better prepared than had she not done it. So I'm a huge supporter.
And I think I think that it's important to note. Thank you, Diana. I think it's important to note that, as you were talking about, Diana has a wide selection, a wide variety of demos. I just sounded so announcery right there. Yes, and so Diana presents with a wide variety of demos. But what's important about that is that they are specifically targeted, and I think that is something I reiterate over and over and over again in this podcast, and that is about being target market specific. Because first of all, your automotive demo is going to be completely different than your e-learning demo. It's going to be completely different than a commercial demo.
It better be.
Because the market is different, right? The genre is different. The market's different. The buyer is different.
And let me jump on that for just a second. So somebody has a commercial demo. Just say and a promo, the 2 demos, right? Mm-hmm. Don't put your commercial demo sitting in an automotive demo slot on some software place somewhere. It's a commercial demo. If you want to play in the automotive world, do an automotive demo. If you, be specific about it, show that you can do that. Because when I'm a producer and I've decided I'm going to go pull 10 people with automotive demos, and I get legitimate automotive, and then I get this, hey, are you going down to Toys R Us today? What? It's, don't be, learn the genre, learn what you're doing.
Now, I've got a big question for you. I'm going to be very excited to hear your answer to this. There's so many people that go back and forth about the length of the demo. Now, I truly believe commercial demos, right, for an agent would be different than, let's say, a commercial demo that you have sitting on your website 24/7 in terms of length. What are your thoughts on, should a commercial demo be a minute or less, or can it be more, and what are the ramifications if it is? Thoughts, comments?
So I think that the length is important, but your first 10 seconds is more. Because if you don't capture the attention of the listener in that first 10 seconds, it doesn't matter if it's a 1-minute demo or a 2-minute demo. I'm much more, and I don't know if I'm going to be contradicting your thoughts, but I like a 1-minute demo because you hear what you need to hear. However, the big thing in marketing right now, trends in 2018 and 2019, were storytelling. So I would like to see storytelling in demos. I call them the storyboard demo, so that you actually, in your demo, you go from everything from A to Z. And we're actually going to try to record one of these. For the record, folks, I'm not a demo producer. I don't want to be a demo producer. I'm just a girl. As Anne and I have talked, I'm an entrepreneur, so my brain never shuts off.
Well, hey, I think what you're doing is you're looking for something different, something that will help a talent stand out and be unique. And so in regards to length, I am going to speak my thoughts on that. I think I'm going to generate a length of a demo as per who it's going to. So, for example, the majority of agents that I've spoken to prefer a demo that's a minute long and not longer. And a big reason for that is because they're busy people. Of course, I get that. We want to respect their time. We want to be able to, you get what you need within the minute. And I totally respect that. So if I'm working with a student and we're producing a commercial demo, I will stick to that minute. Because I know that they're probably going to submit that commercial demo to an agent, and that's where they're going to be getting a lot of their work. They'll also put that demo on their website as well. Right? Now, let's say an e-learning demo or a corporate narration demo, the buyer is different. They're not necessarily going to be submitting that demo to an agent necessarily. Here's my corporate narration demo or here's my e-learning demo, because the agent doesn't necessarily work in those genres. So my thoughts about those demos is they can be longer because, number one, they're narration. They should show a little bit longer, I think, because you need to showcase the arc of your acting in a little longer time period than a 7-second or 8-second spot. It's got to take longer, and that way you're showcasing the acting and the story reveal in any particular narration or the teaching moment, whatever it takes to get that spot to showcase your voice and the best acting. I'm going to say the best acting and the best sound possible. And so for me, and especially because the buyer for corporate is probably going to be either somebody that happens upon your website and listens to your demo, and all they care about, if I work at, and I always use Boeing as maybe Boeing is not the best example, but let's say I work for Lockheed Martin. All I care about is aerospace. I live, eat, and breathe aerospace. I am a corporate, marketing director, and all I care is that I have a voice that can speak my brand. And so when I listen to a demo and I happen to Google it, because I'm a company, I don't work necessarily through an agent to get my voiceover for this new video that I want to put on YouTube or on my website, I may do a Google. I may go to a paid play. For whatever reason, I may just listen to a demo. And if you're speaking my language, wow, that resonates with me. And that makes you memorable to me. And with that, I would say that the demo, it can be longer than a minute because they may or may not be listening to the whole demo. Now, the other thing I would say about demos is to have them at least in a player that breaks them up into each spot so that you can visually see and people can jump around. And, that may or may not be...
that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah. That may or may not be voice sound, but there's lots of different players out there that you can break up your demo into different tracks. That way people can just get to the track they want and then say, oh, look, she did a spot for Southwest and I work for, Delta. So let's hear what she sounded like for Southwest because, we're competitors and I want to hear her speaking my brand or the industry brand at least. And that's where I think the length is going to be it's not going to matter so much. So because I'm designing a demo for that particular market, I'm going to make the length longer because I feel it's going to give you a better shot at getting that gig. Bam.
And Anne,
I stepped down.
No,
I stepped down. I stepped down from my soapbox there.
But it's a
but I'm very passionate. I'm passionate about that.
As well you should be. The only thing I would add to that, because the length, if you got to be able to keep the attention, because the listener,
absolutely.
and just like you said, if I'm doing a Southwest spot and and I'm a Southwest person looking, I want to hear that. I think demos are invaluable. I think just like using Diana as
I
an
agree.
example, you must be doing those. And yes, they are expensive, but they're expensive because you walk away from there, not only with the work. And guys, you sit in front of your computers all day. You know what it is to put something out. Imagine trying to do that for someone else. You're legitimately paying experts to get you the best sound and effort that they can. Yeah. But it's the training.
And their years of experience and
their years of
understanding the market. Like,
experience.
I don't sit at my office. I don't sit at my desk all day and not do market research. I do market research every single day on the corporate market, on e-learning. I research it because I don't want to put out a demo that's not current, that's not relevant. And I work in the industry too, so I have a very good sense of what styles are out there and what's current and what people are looking for. So you are paying not only for that piece of marketing material that you get, but also the director or the producer's experience and research and all those years in saying, this is what the market is asking for and this is how I'm going to give it to them in this demo production. So if you try to do it yourself, you can.
Don't do it yourself. Don't.
You probably don't have that experience. And that's, I think, what you're paying for.
And you also don't have the what is it? Not the subjective opinion. You only have your opinion of if it sounds good or not, and you need that expert to help you with it. Again, you come out demos from as an agent, you could get work through off your demos. It wasn't quite as relevant or prevalent. It might be on some of the software systems out there, the pay-to-plays, where you're posting your demos and you're getting hired from that. But for me, I think it's incredibly relevant for the amount of the training, because if I can sit and work with Anne Ganguzza to get a 2-minute demo or a 1-minute demo or a specific demo out, my goodness, what am I going to walk away from? I have had this person's voice in my ear helping me be a better voice actor, and that's priceless to me.
Well, thank you for the plug. But I appreciate that. I love that. But I do want to say, I agree with you completely. Don't think of, I want you guys to not think of a demo as just like it's one thing. It's an MP3. Do you know what I mean? The demo entails so much more than that. It really wraps up, education, experience, years of experience researching markets and that sort of thing. So if you look at the total cost and you say, oh my God, it cost me this much for my demo, or I had to train and then I paid for a demo and it cost me this much. Number one, it's not just an MP3 you're getting. You're getting a whole lot more wrapped up into it. And try to keep that in mind when you're justifying that cost in your business investment. It really is a business investment.
Ask questions, learn. Yes, like I said, I'm a big supporter, and you get, again, pick the right demo producer because you're going to get somebody that helps you in so many more areas other than just the in file. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Research, ask, Google, guys. There's lots of groups that talk about it. So, do your due diligence, and let's get yourself some amazing demos for 2020. Woo!
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Big shout out to our sponsor, IPDTL. You too can network like I am with the amazing Liz and your clients with IPDTL.com. Find out more at IPDTL.com. You guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week.
Nice to see you, Anne. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Join us next week for another edition of VO Boss with your host, Anne Ganguzza. And take your business to the next level. Sign up for our mailing list at voboss.com and receive exclusive content, industry revolutionizing tips and strategies, and new ways to rock your business like a boss. Redistribution with permission, coast-to-coast connectivity via IPDTL.
Hey everyone, welcome to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Anne Ganguzza, along with special co-host, Queen Bee, Liz Atherton herself. Woo, Liz. What's going on?
Nice to see you, man. Hear you. I'm just excited to be here. Hi, not much. How are you? I'm trying to gear up 2020 by gearing down my rear end and by working really hard.
I'd like to talk to you. Oh my God, who's calling me? What is that? It's an 800 number. I didn't realize it would come through my iPad.
It's okay, like, hey, Anne. Hey, Anne, how are you? I'm your 1-800 number.
Woo.
I'm about to embarrass myself, but the one VO thing that I can do is balk like a chicken. Okay, now there we go.
Oh my
Now back to
God,
work.
that's awesome.